swimming in and around the bell of the Medusa. We don't know too much about the ecology of this fish, but it is known to be found in association with Stygiomedusa. We speculate that it gets protection from the Medusa.
Zoom in a little more. To the left, just there, back a bit. And right. Oh my god!
Cameras are wonderful things, and for the most part we use them every day, whether via our phones, webcams, filming these videos, home security. They have changed our lives in a huge way. However, on some occasions we may catch something on our camera that is far from what we intended. A stranger in the background, perhaps a mysterious shadow in the sky, a hand from under our bed. Whatever it may be, it shouldn't have been there. Coming in at number 5, we have Dementor. Back in 2017, above the Mukuba Mall in the city of Kitwe, Zambia, locals spotted something rather unusual in the sky, something we've only ever seen in movies. Well, one particular set of movies, Harry Potter, and what they seemingly saw were Dementors. That's right, the cloaked soul suckers from the magical franchise. The photographs were published by the website Zambian Observer in an article reporting the strange figure in the skies above the shopping mall. The article went on to state that some mall-goers ran away in fear, believing the figure was a manifestation of God, while others stayed and worshipped. One eyewitness was even quoted in the account. There was drama today in Kitwe at Mukuba Mall when a strange image that looks like a human appeared in the clouds. According to eyewitnesses, they say the strange image that looked like a human was in the sky for over 30 minutes while looking down at the mall. This forced people who were shopping scampering in different directions, thinking that God had finally come. We were shocked to see images that looked like a human in the clouds for close to 30 minutes. Others started to worship, but others ran away. It was so strange. Of course, the story took off when the creature in the sky was found to resemble a Dementor from the Harry Potter franchise. Now, this image does appear to be fake and may have been created using Photoshop, but some part of me really wants to believe this creature is legit. Come suck my soul, please. Coming in at number 4, rare jellyfish. First collected in 1901 and scientifically described in 1910, the giant jellyfish Stygiomedusa gigantea is rarely collected or even seen. However, saying that, it is arguably one of the largest invertebrate predators currently residing in the ocean, which is absolutely terrifying. Estimates of its size are reportedly around 10 meters in length. There are reportedly only 115 sightings in the last 110 years of this type of jellyfish, but it is believed to be widespread throughout the world. The jellyfish itself has an umbrella-shaped bell that can be up to 1 meter wide. It also has 4 paddle-like arms up to 10 meters long, aka 20 feet long, which, as they lack stinging tentacles, may be used to trap prey. But I'm terrified right now. So no matter what, you're gonna get dead. Back in 2010, for the first time in history, this type of jellyfish was caught on camera, and yes, it is just as terrifying as you can imagine. The creature appears to be holding onto the subsea structure in the video, for reasons unknown. However, one scientist believed this could be because the jellyfish is attempting to eat the structure, before realizing it cannot. This in turn could be a reflex, much like a fly trap in a way. It's worth to watch the entire video, especially if you don't want to sleep tonight. This thing makes me feel so uncomfortable. Also, I hate the ocean, so it could just be that. I hate every single thing in the ocean. Don't come for me.
Interesting video. It occurred in 2009, and in it, the animal appears to be holding on to some of the subsea structure. This is the first time this species has been found in the Gulf of Mexico, and these observations provided an opportunity to learn something about its habitat, behavior, and ecology.
Coming in at number 3, Loch Ness Monster. Rumours about the Loch Ness Monster have been in circulation for years, with it being brought to worldwide attention back in 1933. The creature is a cryptid that is said to inhabit Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands. It is often described as large, long-necked, and with 1 or more humps protruding from the water. Of course, most believe this to be a hoax, with the scientific community regarding it as a phenomenon without biological basis. The Courier in 2017 published excerpts from an article which discussed the Loch Ness Monster, stating, "The creature disported itself, rolling and plunging for fully a minute, its body resembling that of a whale. and the water cascading and churning like a simmering cauldron. Soon, however, it disappeared in a boiling mass. Both onlookers confessed that there was something uncanny about the whole thing, for they realized that here was no ordinary denizen of their depths, because apart from its enormous size, the beast, in taking the final plunge, sent out waves that were big enough to have been caused by a passing steamer. Back in 2007, one particular video surfaced that seemed to show just that. A man was filming the Loch Ness when suddenly a creature jumps out of the water that looks more like a giraffe than anything, and then dives back in. The creature is massive and terrifying to look at. What do you think it is though? Nessie or giraffe? It can only be one or the other. And that's fact.
That's a handwriting. Oh my god! Did you see that?
Coming in at number 2, sewer creature. Back in 2009, a video was uploaded to YouTube which seems to show a pulsating mass deep in the sewers. It looks like some sort of blob creature that if you get too close it will consume you whole, only for you to join the pulsating mass. However, worse still, the mass was investigated and truth was made known to the public, and honestly, I preferred not knowing. According to reports, it is nothing more than a colony of tubifex worms, so say the city officials in Raleigh, North Carolina. The worms generally live in sewage and pond sediment. However, the video posted makes them seem very unnatural. While the worms are a natural part of life, the uploader stated, I quote, "I've seen a lot of sewer TV before, and I've never seen them. We were surprised. We didn't immediately know what it was." Right there with you. It looks absolutely horrific. It makes me feel sick knowing that those are worms. I mean, I can't even look. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have Dobby. Another Harry Potter related monster on our list, we have Dobby. That's right, apparently Dobby the house elf is real and walking around US neighborhoods. As we know, most people have some kind of home security camera. They prevent crimes and quickly provide evidence when necessary. However, sometimes the footage you find leaves you utterly baffled. And that is what happened to Vivian Gomez, who posted this bizarre video to Facebook. The clip seems to show a short, scrawny figure with wobbly legs and floppy ears jaunting down a driveway. From the camera, he looks exactly like Dobby from the Harry Potter franchise. Gomez stated, I quote, "So I woke up on Sunday morning and saw this on my camera and I'm trying to figure out what the heck. First I saw the shadow walking from my front door, then I saw this thing. Has anyone else seen this on their cameras?" The video raked in over 9 million views, with many taking to social media with their theories. One person stated, "It's 100% a kid with a shirt on his head. Look closely." I did look closely and this guy might be onto something, but still part of me only sees Dobby. Not to mention any kid that decides to do this in the middle of the night is a concern to me. Some people suspect that the video may be doctored, while others say that someone could have created an elf-like puppet. I'm going with Dobby though till the day I die. He's a free elf, goddammit.
In our number 5 spot, the Rake. This video is very bizarre. A man began to hear strange noises coming from outside, so he grabbed his camera and went to investigate. He followed the noises and ended up on top of his roof. And he got way more than he bargained for. The camera pans up and we see this mysterious creature with glowing eyes. Once this creature realizes he has been seen, he ducks for cover. The man filming this freaks out and rushes off the roof. This creature is known as the Rake. It's said to stalk people for months before killing them in the dead of night. This creature has apparently been seen many times by many people, but their existence has never really been proven. I don't know, to me this video looks pretty legit. At number 4, aliens. This video was released to the public in 2011 and it caused quite an upset. This takes place in northern England inside a sewer, and it was captured by a camera mounted onto a service robot. On the camera we see a creature being captured on multiple occasions. In the first clip we see a creature quickly scurry by, don't blink or you will miss it. Yeah, what the heck is that? It kind of looks like a dinosaur. Then there's this other terrifying clip, take a look. Once this clip came out, people were convinced that this was an alien. Turns out it was only an April Fool's joke set up by the water company, but they did succeed in scaring a lot of people. And at number 3, Iceland worm sea creature. In Iceland there's a legend of a huge sea monster. It was first reported all the way back in 1345, and it's still widely believed by some people of Iceland to this day. In this video we can see a sea-like worm creature swimming through the waters of an Icelandic river. Some people have claimed that this is proof of the existence of the legendary creature. This is basically Iceland's version of Scotland's Loch Ness Monster. Coming in at our number 2 spot, giant blob. Last year this video circled around online. In it we can see a giant blob-like creature floating around under a deep drilling oil rig. This creature fascinated everyone as no one could tell what it was. It seems to almost be glowing like it was lit from within. It was extremely large and managed to continuously change its shape. Some people figured it was an undiscovered creature that has crawled up from the depths of the ocean, while others took a bit of a stretch and they said it could be proof of some type of alien presence. Researchers soon found out that it was actually an insanely gigantic jellyfish, but many people were confused of why it came so close to the surface. It's possible that the drilling disturbed it from the deeper parts of the ocean, but nonetheless this was the first time anyone had seen a jellyfish that size, and it's pretty creepy knowing that it's just lurking down there and brave enough to surface. And in at number 1, I'm ending this list off strong and super creepy with Slenderman. I don't know about you guys, but I believe that he's real and he really creeps me out. Slenderman is a popular internet character, but many people believe him to be real and have actually reported seeing him in real life. The first sighting was back in 2009. Slenderman is said to be a thin, unnaturally tall man with a blank and unusually featureless face, and he is always wearing a black suit. Slenderman is known to stalk and abduct people, especially children. People who usually see him are children or teens performing a sacrifice to Slenderman himself. Very creepy. Starting off at our number 5 spot, the Eye. And I'm gonna be honest, the Eye pretty much looks like a cross between an old man and a gremlin. They are from Madagascar and they are part of the lemur family. Also, a fun fact is that they are the largest nocturnal primate in the world. Some weird little characteristics about these primates are that they have teeth like a rodent, large ears, yellow eyes, coarse gray hair, and a freakishly super long middle finger. They use these long fingers to tap on trees for grubs. They can tap up to 8 times per second with their creepy long finger. And they bite holes into the wood and then insert their long middle fingers to pull out the grubs. Yum. These animals are actually a threatened species, as there is a superstition that if an Eye points its middle finger at you, then you must kill it. And at number 4, Skinwalker. This image was taken in New Mexico and made its way online back in 2014. It was shared thousands of times in just hours. A lot of people referred to this creature as a skinwalker, which is a mythical creature from a Native American legend. It apparently has the ability to shapeshift into any animal it chooses and walks on all fours. There have been many stories of countless encounters with these creatures in New Mexico. The person who posted this picture said they saw the creature lurking on the side of the road. Then there's another encounter, and the story says that a geologist was working at an oil field when he saw something odd and decided to take a heat signature of it, and it appeared to be a skinwalker. Some people believe this is just a hoax and say that this is a picture from a little known 1980s science fiction film. What do you guys think? Is this real or is it a hoax? One thing is for sure, it's super creepy. At number 3, goblin sharks. For this one, I'm taking you guys down into the deep blue sea. If you thought regular sharks were scary, check out these guys. The goblin shark is a rare species of deep sea shark. These sharks are ancient, so sometimes they're referred to as living fossils, since they come from a breed that is 125 million years old. These pinkish gray skinned creatures have elongated flattened snouts, and they have a strong jaw containing nail-like teeth. You will usually find them living under continental slopes, submarine canyons, or seamounts. Goblin sharks are ambush predators. They will usually hunt for their prey near the middle of the water column and the seafloor. Coming in at number 2 spot, Tsunami Monster. Here we have footage taken of a 2011 tsunami in Japan. What the heck was that? In it, you can see some sort of mysterious white creature escaping the rising waters, and then it scales the building and it kinda just disappears into thin air. This video creeped out so many people. It's scary enough to see this creature-like thing make it out of the water, but then to see it disappear adds a whole new level of fear. Some tabloids say that people were overreacting and that this is something called a globster, which are large masses of organic remains washed on shore. But people aren't buying it and they think the media is just trying to cover it up. I mean, personally, it looks pretty real to me. Like, we can actually see it crawling up the building and everything. Let me know your thoughts down in those comments. And in our number 1 spot, Montauk Monster. These creatures have been spotted more than once in Montauk, New York. Basically what happens is that this strange creature will wash up on the Montauk shore. And it's kinda hard to identify what they are, as they look like a breed between several different types of animals. The occurrences have become so common that these creatures now have the name Montauk Monster. Conspiracy theorists are convinced that these creatures are actually escaped experiments from nearby Plum Island. For those of you who don't know, Plum Island is home to an animal disease center. This is a lab that's run by Homeland Security, and it was initially set up as a test center for US biological weapons and for genetic testing on animals. But what's even more bizarre is that all of these creatures seem to disappear before any scientific agency is able to perform testing on them to determine exactly what they are. Starting off at number 5, Belgian blue super cows. This breed of incredibly lean, hyper-muscular cow comes from Belgium. You know, if you couldn't already tell by the name. These cattle have an increased number of muscular fibers, which is a hereditary condition known as being double muscling. This particular trait is shared with another breed of cattle. Both the breeds have an increased ability to convert food into lean muscle, which causes the breed's meat to have a reduced fat content and reduced tenderness. Yeah, these guys look pretty terrifying. I definitely would not want to cross paths with one of them. Coming in at number 4, bat bombs. During World War II, the US Marine Corps worked on a project to train bats as kamikaze bombers against the Japanese. Oddly enough, the person who came up with this idea in the first place was a dentist from Pennsylvania named Lytle Adams. In 1942, he proposed this idea to the White House after going on a trip and seeing the bat-filled caves in New Mexico. Adam came up with the idea of strapping tiny combustible explosives to the animals and exploiting their use of echolocation to find roosts in barns and attics. Adams suggested having the bomb-strapped bats fly to Japan, nestle in the nooks of mostly wooden buildings in Japanese cities, and then blowing them up so they can set the city ablaze. Yeah, that's absolutely terrifying. If those little guys do get into the right spot, then they could cause a lot of damage. Even though this was a very far-fetched plan, the government loved it. So the Marine Corps captured thousands of Mexican free-tailed bats and developed explosive devices to strap to their backs. But then in 1943, the project was scrapped, probably because they realized how crazy it was, or it could have been due to the fact that the US government had made progress on the atomic bomb. At number 3, spider goat. Spider goats, yeah, that definitely doesn't sound like the best combination. That's one really extreme crossbreed. The person who developed this creature is Professor Randy Lewis, who teaches genetics at Utah University. This transplanted gene means the goat produces milk containing an extra protein, which is extracted and then spun into spider silk thread. About his creation, Randy says, "We're interested in dragline silk, the silk that spiders catch themselves in when they fall. It's stronger than Kevlar. It really has some amazing properties for any kind of fiber." So you might be wondering, how does one crossbreed a goat and a spider? Well, he went on to say, "The trouble is you can't farm spiders. They're very cannibalistic." So he and his team took the gene that encodes dragline silk from the orb weaver spider and placed it among the DNA that prompts milk production in the udders. This genetic circuit was then inserted into an egg and implanted into a mother goat. Now, when the goat lactates, her milk is full of spider silk protein. The university has been producing large quantities of this spider silk, and it's being referred to as one of the strongest substances known to man. Coming in at number 2, see-through frogs. These little guys freak me out. No one needs to see what's going on in there. All these organs and guts and the pulsing, ugh. Scientists decided to create this frog after a new glass frog species has been discovered. In these frogs, you can literally see their hearts beating through their chest. This frog is being identified through a combination of fieldwork in the Amazonian lowlands of Ecuador and DNA sequencing in the lab. They crossed 2 kinds of recessive color mutant black-eyed and gray-eyed frogs through artificial insemination. And F2 offspring produced frogs whose skin is translucent through the life cycle. These frogs have shown unique physical and behavioral traits. But through creation, these frogs do sometimes come out with different traits. For example, not all of the glass frogs have hearts that are visible through their chest. In some of the frogs, the heart itself is white, so you don't see the red blood. The scientists behind these frogs believe they will help us understand the evolutionary pattern that leads to frogs being glass-like in the first place. Scientists wanted to create these frogs so we could see their organs, blood vessels, and eggs through the skin instead of having to dissect them. Also for the fact that translucent skin enables observation of organ growth and cancer formation and progression of the frog, which can now be monitored through its entire life. Sadly, even though this species has recently been created, it's already in danger of extinction due to its habitat being threatened by oil exploitation. And in at number 1, zombie dogs. Back in 1940, Russian scientists had released pictures and a video of multiple severed dog heads, which they managed to keep alive for several hours after the dog's death. This was known as the zombie dog experiment. The head was actually able to wiggle its ears in response to sound, and lick their mouths for a few hours after the head was detached from the body. They were able to keep the heads artificially alive by providing artificial blood circulation. While this was a great step forward in science, it was very disturbing to see. The experiment was performed to try to see if humans can be resurrected after death. This experiment was performed yet again in 2005, this time by American scientists who got a pack of dogs and killed them rapidly by flushing out all of their blood from the dogs' bodies and replaced it with oxygen and sugar-filled saline. 3 hours later, the doctors gave the dogs a blood transfusion and an electric shock later, and the dogs were back from the dead. Most of the dogs seemed to be as good as they could be expected to be, while others suffered permanent damage. There's still some more testing that needs to be completed, but scientists are feeling really proud of these results. They hope that one day this could revive people who are hemorrhaging blood too quickly for doctors to repair the injuries.